We've got Arik Hesseldahl with us on set. Tell us all about it. Have we got to do this? Got to do this?
Yeah, we got to do that. That's
Thank you
right.
very much. Okay, so Meg Whitman, a buck plus.
A buck plus 16 million and change in stock options that she was able to exercise, and so. You know, she raised eyebrows a little bit for taking the $1 salary, joining as CEO at a time when HP was really kind of flat on its back. But all of her compensation was really worked into stock and equity-based awards that are beginning that vest over time. And so, for one reason or another, she was able to parlay that into $16 million worth of stock this year.
Now, remind us how that compares to Leo Apotheker's compensation.
Okay, so this all came out in today's proxy filing. So from Hewlett-Packard,
which makes thrilling reading.
It really
Arik,
does.
He's excited.
I can tell he's excited.
I can tell he's excited.
I get excited
about
by the SEC filings. What can I say? The Leo Apotheker, for his 11 months of service, walked away with $30.4 million in combined salary and stock and other things. Relocation bonus was another big piece of it. There was like a $2.9 million relocation bonus to help him move from France to California and back. There was a non-compete. There was another $1.7 million. So all told, it was $30.4 million. And we had a hard time figuring it out until we actually saw the hard number today. There was a range that was somewhere between 28 and 35. But now
and that's on top of what he cost the shareholders.
Exactly.
In lost equity, right?
Exactly. I mean, that's the number.
See, that's small compared to all that value that was destroyed.
What happened not long after this was, and the Journal did some reporting on this that was terrific, was that Hewlett-Packard went back and reevaluated their severance agreements, the standards by which they do their severance agreements, and so Leo's departure was so embarrassingly large. The costs associated with his severance were so embarrassingly large that they went back and completely rejiggered how they do it.
Now, Meg Whitman, relatively new CEO still.
Yes.
Let's do a little report card. How would you grade her so far? And how do you think investors would grade her so far?
I think the number one thing that Meg has to do is stabilize everything, and I think that is a work in progress. I mean, there are still changes. For example, we've seen 2 directors leave the board of directors in the last few weeks, and so that's probably more the work of Chairman Ray Lane trying to get a board that he's comfortable with, and Meg to a certain extent as well. So there's some stability there, but then there's also been a lot of departures of executives of varying seniority. Some of them HP actually wants to see go, maybe some HP doesn't want to see go. And so there's been, for example, we had on the show last week, we had John Rubinstein disappear. We all knew he was going to go, but it was a matter of where and when. So there's a lot of these different executives. We also saw in the proxy today, we saw the numbers and the compensation for Shane Robeson. I mean, he was HP. He was a longtime HP guy, came over from Compaq in the acquisition. So there's been a lot of upheaval. I think there's still quite a bit more upheaval to go.
But after the upheaval, hopefully stabilization, and we shall see. So the jury's still out. We can't say up or down.
Not yet.
It's sort of like this.
The jury is
always
still
good.
out.
And we'll ask you back many times to see where the thumb is pointing.
I'm always glad to give you where the thumb is pointing.